episode, whatever. We don't know anymore.
I think like 8,
7, maybe.
We didn't want to count.
Yeah, it would have been a little bit weird to count. We actually, what's funny is counting. We could go and we always have track of like where we're at on our website and our YouTube page. So I kind of want to kick us off with something a little bit different today. We're going to talk about our vacations because me and Brittany just came back from taking our babies on their big summer vacation. So that was fun. But I do, keep track of like our website and our YouTube page, and I try to keep track of what episode we're on. I know we get like a few DMs here and there, and I try to respond to them as best as I can. So, thank you guys too for your patience. Like if you've DM'd us on Instagram and stuff, I'm a little bit better there than going to the actual Motherhood podcast email. But yeah, I appreciate it. I really do. It makes me feel like there's a community growing with us that's really becoming engaged.
Yeah, and the feedback. I've gotten some feedback about, we couldn't hear you in this episode, or like, scoot closer, da-da-da-da. I was like, okay, my bad.
I'm like, Brittany's got back issues, okay?
I know. I'm like, I have to sit all the way back, and my legs are hella long. So, like, I end up far away from the mic, so I just have to sit, like, I just have to support myself the entire time.
Right.
Yeah. It's okay.
So, speaking of our YouTube page, before we get started on what we really had planned for today, I wanted to address a comment directly. So we had a comment left on a YouTube page that was pointed to one of us, and the comment was something to the effect of the less educated one. So 2 things here, right? Because, you got a generic response, Rizzle, my nizzle, whatever your little username is that you hid behind. But the big points that I wanted to bring up today was one that education is a spectrum. So anybody who is truly educated knows that if you're referring to like a traditional 4-year university or a bachelor's or higher, any post-secondary education that happens in the classroom, that does not necessarily qualify you as an educated person. Some of the classiest, wisest, most knowledgeable people I've ever met in my life don't have a traditional 4-year university or higher degree. They have life experience.
They have common sense.
They have, common sense.
I was like, actually, some of the less educated, if that's what you want to call it, they have the most common sense like that I've ever found in my entire life.
Yeah,
I'm like, wow, that makes a lot of sense.
They have class, common sense, wisdom. They're
humble.
They're humble. That's the word. They have so much to give. And so while I have made it a goal of mine to pursue a higher education, I have to say, Brittany is also one of the most educated people truly that I know in my life. And the one reason why I've asked her to be a co-host with me on this podcast is because she's funny. And anybody who knows about comedy understands that those are some of the most intelligent people because they understand the human psyche, what is going to appeal, what is funny, when to drop the actual joke.
The only person who hasn't liked it so far is my therapist.
Right?
She's like, oh, Brittany, so your friend, died, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess he saw it coming. Like, it's like,
oh God!
I know. She's like, okay, hold up, this is the wrong time to make a joke, okay? Like,
I'm trying to make sure you're okay.
I'm like, this is me being okay. It's got to make a joke out of it, but yeah.
So, I guess that's my first point, is that we welcome the feedback. We want it to be real, right, and raw, like I'm being right now. But by no means is the Motherhood Podcast a platform for mother bashing, woman bashing. That's not what we do here. That's not how we roll. So if you have something that you feel is going to be of that context, I still welcome your feedback. Just DM us. Let us know, what is on your mind or what you feel that we could speak on or do better. But if it's going to be, I guess, in a way to validate yourself publicly, you will fail at it. And then my second point to that is moms who do watch and women who watch our podcast, especially I think it, more refers to moms. I feel like, as a woman prior to being a mom, there have been some relationships where I had a little bit of time where that ex became really, I would say, unreasonable. I don't want to use the word toxic because I feel like that's thrown a lot around, but unreasonable, or just to the point where like it was affecting me and my life.
Just draining.
Yeah. Draining. I think that's the better word, draining. And for moms, it happens a lot more. I know personally I've experienced it as well, to where you feel like you cannot voice your truth, you cannot voice your opinion. I've talked to moms plenty of times, single moms, moms of marriages, moms going through divorces, separations.
It's like 85% of the time you get bashed.
Right.
It's like, oh, okay, so since I'm a mom, I can't have feelings, I can't have a point of view, I can't have anything. Like, I'm just here to take care of these kids and work, and that's it. Like,
right.
That's not fair.
I posted the other day a story that said, you are more than a mom. You're
Yeah,
somebody.
I saw that.
You're somebody. And so if you are a mom, you are more than a mom. You're somebody. And if you have truth to speak, I encourage you. It doesn't have to necessarily be through a podcast or through social media. It can be with a friend or a therapist or, but just speak your truth. Don't let them gaslight you into thinking that you are somebody you're not, because at the end of the day, you know your heart and you're raising those babies, whether it be with somebody or alone. You're a mom, you're showing up and you're raising those babies.
You're doing it every day.
In and out. Ain't no hood like motherhood.
100%.
So I'll get off my soapbox now. But I just, Brittany knows. Here's one thing about it.
I was like, well, because it didn't bother me. Like, the comment, I actually was like dying out laughing.
It bothered me.
And she was like, oh, hell no. She was like, and I was like, well, how do you know who it's about? I was like, well, obviously me. I was like, I don't have degrees and stuff like you. But also, so let me say one thing. A lot of my, people in my family, my friends, they own things like HVAC technician companies, electrical companies, and they didn't go to traditional college for that. I was like, that's just two of my careers. I didn't go to traditional college for them, but I had to start at traditional college so that I could get, my associates for the dental. And so I'm just like, that doesn't, just because I loved dentistry didn't mean that I didn't have the heart to just go ahead and do the full 4 year of college. I did 2 years and I was like, this is great. Now I have my foot in the door.
Real estate license.
And then I went to the San Antonio health and freaking whatever college of science for to finish it out. And it took me just maybe another year or so. But I'm like, that still took 3 years of my life.
Right.
So the less educated, I was just I instantly knew it was about me though. And I was just like, I don't really care. And she goes, oh no. She was like, I'm gonna have to say something next time. I was like, say your piece and I'm good. I don't have to say anything.
Listen, if there's one thing about me is I'm big on accountability, even self-accountability, right?
Yeah.
Brittany will tell you if I messed up,
I feel if I wasn't healed, I may have went off.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'm finally at a point in my life where I'm just and then we're good. I just move on.
I'm healed, so I didn't go off in the comments, but I'm also going to be clear on my boundaries and where I stand and what I intended this platform to be. Because at the end of the day, Motherhood Podcast is essentially that. It is our brand.
It's supposed to be for us to be together and support each other, not be like, oh yeah, you're a piece of shit. No, what?
No. Yeah, and if you're bringing that energy, you can just take it somewhere else, please.
We're good.
Yep. Because and so to your point, when you were talking about your family and stuff and all the stuff that you guys have, that's what I tell Camden, and that's honestly part of the reason why
we need those people. What would we do without electricians? Well, when your AC goes out, when your AC goes out, do you call a lawyer to your house?
No.
Yeah, no, you called somebody who went to just a certifiable school to do that degree and
you
learn how to
need
do
them
it.
just as much, if not more.
Yep. I was like, those people are important.
Right. And so even to Camden, right? When we went to DC, we just got back last Monday. And the reason why I'm big on the boys traveling, was it a budget-friendly vacation? 100%. Was it a little bit rough? There was rough spots to that vacation, 100%. But I want my children to know that education means that you are a well-rounded individual, which a part of that's traveling, dude.
Oh, yeah. I've seen the world.
Yeah, I've seen the world.
I feel if you shelter yourself in one spot, also moving out of your hometown. That to me, that grew me a lot, moving out of my hometown. But I feel if you're wanting to do all the things, it's so much easier when you're okay, I need to travel and go meet these people or people who believe in this. Or it's just when people are trying to pick a religion, they're I know there's a higher power, but which one of the higher powers do I believe in? You would go to each place and see where you fit in, what you believed in, to 100%.
Or even too, we, like I said, it was budget friendly. I planned this shit well in advance. I brought the tickets in January and I Googled and looked what is the best time to go. We booked through the Hilton. I made sure.
Kid friendly.
Yeah, that it was, one, I've been to DC before. I went when I was in college. And I know that everything there is free. All the Smithsonian museums are free. You have to book some spots for some of them, like Air and Space, the zoo.
Oh, that's all free?
Girl, it's free.
Wow.
I didn't pay for shit
cool.
other than food.
I was like, 4 people for the Denver Zoo cost me $100.
Hell no, the zoo trip to DC was for free.
Wow. And two of the people of the 4 were children. I was like, $100? I was like, oh. I was like, kids, we're spending all day here. All day.
Y'all want to see the pandas again?
Yeah. I was like, we are circling back around. I downloaded the app on my phone and everything, girl, because I was like, we are staying all day. The kids, it's hot.
My feet hurt.
I can't walk anymore.
Well, no, so everything there's free, right?
That's
Which is
so
why
baller.
I picked DC.
Cool.
The hotel I picked, I made sure that it had free breakfast, and I called ahead and was like, "Is y'all's free breakfast like you guys have like granola and cereal out, or is it like
hot breakfast? I have to have hot breakfast.
Yeah, and they're like, it's hot. We do something different every day. So I was like, cool. So I would get up the kids I'm getting up myself at 5:30, getting myself ready, getting them up an hour later, saying, get up, we're going to get ready, we're going to go downstairs, we're going to get breakfast, or bringing them up breakfast the days they just couldn't.
I was like, damn, 6 o'clock. Oh, you're on vacation.
Camden knows.
Woo.
Oh, I
was like, oh, you're killing me.
I'm the mom on vacations that's like, we came here, we gonna see some shit the whole day.
Oh,
ain't nobody sleeping in on my vacation.
Except for when we went to Vegas. I was like, she'd be like, shut the curtains. I'm taking a nap. I'm like, damn.
Okay, but that was us. The kids that
you're gonna get your money's worth.
I'm gonna get my money's worth with these kids. So I was getting them up. I would get their water bottles because, in front of like all those places, the Smithsonian's, like the Washington Memorial, Lincoln Memorial, they have the vendors that sell like $10 water bottles. You've got me.
Oh my God.
All the way fucked up. If you think
that's even more expensive than at the zoo, dude.
Yeah.
You can get one of the like reusable cups for $8 and then just pay 99 cents for a refill.
Nope. I made them bring their water bottles and I filled them up with the water the filtered cold water downstairs.
I was gonna say we brought a water bottle too.
Yep.
And kept like refilling it.
Took the subway the whole time. It's 2:24 round trip. Children are free in DC on the metro.
Heck yeah.
It was honestly just, and that's the thing too, is like Camden's never rode a subway and he liked it. He was like, man, I feel like I could live here. And it kind of hurt my heart hearing that, but
You're
also
like,
made me
Virginia?
so happy though, because he's like building that confidence, like, oh yeah, like
if he could step out without you.
He could step out without me. Like you said, leaving the nest, leaving the home. He's starting to dive into different experiences, people's cultures, whatever, see different things and be like, okay, like maybe I do like this. Maybe I could live here.
And you would never see that if you just stay in one spot and you don't ever travel. That's also what I loved about starting going on cruises when I was freaking, I think I was like 12 the first time my parents put me on a cruise I had to have been like 12, but I just saw different parts of the world and I was just like, wow, I'm going to stop complaining so fucking much. Like,
Good for you.
Because I could be living like this. And I know that sounds so wrong, to say.
But it's true.
But it's so true because they honestly get devastated by hurricanes like at least once every 5 years.
Yeah.
So they always have to start from the bottom. And I'm just like, I'm just not going to be a jerk anymore at home because I could have that. So it definitely made me humble and then also be in ways where I'm like, oh, I would want to live here. Like, for sure, I would want to live here.
Yeah. You're like, hell yeah, I want to live on the beach. But no, I get that, dude, because
going to Florida, I was like, all right, I live in Key West now.
Bye, y'all.
I was 16. I was like, I'm not getting back on this ship. My mom, she would have died.
Should have been like, she would have stopped that boat. Brittany. Sherry would have stopped
here.
that
She
boat.
was in Texas.
Oh, shit.
Oh, she'd have been calling everybody. SWAT. Get over there. She's in Key West and me.
Not the SWAT. On a fucking jet ski. Bitches.
I got my mom's credit card. I'm like, when it runs out, then I gotta go home.
Okay, Mom, can you send a flight ticket for me?
Get me in Key
Put
West?
your ass on a Greyhound. but that's what I'm saying. It was the opposite for me because, so like, I gotta say this. We're eating like one of the mornings, the last morning, I was like, guys, I brought breakfast up to them every morning. I did, I'm be honest. I would get ready, go downstairs, be like, get up, baby, get up, honey, get up, baby. I'm gonna go downstairs. What do you want? I get all the shit. I don't give a fuck people staring at me. I'm like, fuck you, Shannon. I'm like putting on tons of eggs and potatoes and sausage, going to the waffle, getting a waffle. I'm like stacking it up. I'm like walking to the elevator like this. I'm like,
there's the only thing you can't carry is the drink set, and then you look like a waitress. You're like, one for you, one for you, one for you.
No, I carry them with my nails. I like pinch them. So I had
yeah, the little plastic cups.
the little plastic cups. Girl, I'm like,
true.
I'm not coming back down here. But the one morning we ate downstairs, Camden's like looking around. He's like, Mom, we're the only Mexican family here. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And he's like, I'm just saying. And I'm like,
you're in Virginia, bro.
But also too, like, it is peak family vacation time,
yeah,
especially over there, right, in July. And we didn't do shit like that when I was growing up because my mom was a single mom. Like, if we went on vacation, it was like to West Texas to visit her family, like with my grandma. And like, we drove there with no AC because you gotta save gas. You better not fucking ask for food because she fed you in the morning and we're gonna eat at one of our tias when we get there. She's like, no.
10 hours later.
She's like, yeah, baby's making a casserole. I already told you. Like, you're just like, I'm fucking hungry.
Right, well, stuff's helping right now, Mom.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Or she'd be like one big gulp and be like, everybody share. And there's like 7 cousins in the fucking Suburban. Like the worst. We're like, you've had it for 2 seconds longer. Like,
oh my God, my kids do that all the time. They're like, Mom, can we have some of your Coke Zero? I'm like, no. And then I cave in and they're going to share. And they're like, okay, you're drinking it all. I'm like, shut up. It's my drink.
That was us. So we're like, so-and-so's hogging it. But so it makes me like literally so happy when I can take the kids to do stuff like that because I never got those things. And it just, there was like one point in our vacation, we went to Chinatown and then we went a little bit further up the street and they had a splash pad. And DC had something going on called the bubble effect where they had all these bubble machines and music playing.
Oh, how cute.
And bitch, I started tearing up. I was like, oh my God, I'm just so glad I could do this for these children.
They don't even know how spoiled they are. I could have never had this, and now I have to give it to myself. I have to pay for it and everything.
And then you know what? I got in that splash pad. I asked Jonathan, I was like, are we going to go anywhere after this? He was like, no, they're going to have to ride the subway back wet. And I was like, all right. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm getting in.
I'm getting in. It's hot.
It's hot out here. And I'm healing my inner child. So you can sit here with the stroller.
I deserve this.
I heard that. I know, crying. Camden's like, why are you always fucking crying? I'm like, just so happy. But it does. I think it really
It's sad when your kids only think that you cry whenever you're sad. It's like,
oh,
you can cry when you're happy, too.
Yeah.
And then Landon, whenever he first saw me in Colorado, he was like, I'm crying because I'm so happy. I was like, see, I told you it's possible.
Oh, I saw you guys, like, took pictures, too, like, around the mountains. Did y'all go hiking?
Yeah, so we went to Red Rocks. So, like, I had to go grab the kids from my ex, and it was my turn to come up to Wyoming, but instead we met in Colorado.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so that way we were local to, you know, the airport, because whenever we were leaving, we had to be there so early. And so
5
I'm
a.m.
just like,
flight. Love those.
Well, and with 2 kids, and especially Harp, she hates waking up in the morning. So she's like, and if she's in a bad mood, everybody else ends up in a bad mood. So it does not work out. But so I was like, man, we got to stay local. But
we're all going to suffer.
We went to the zoo, which was really fun. Besides them saying it was way too hot. But I got to see a lot of cool, like, Lego, like, statues of different lions and
nice.
Flamingos and stuff like that. And then we don't have penguins anywhere around here, so they had penguins and all kinds of shit. It was really cool. And they had elephants, like, fighting each other in the water. It was so funny.
What?
I know. And then the kids were like, Mom, how deep do you think that water is? I was like, I don't know, because he can put his head all the way under. He's probably, like, 20 foot tall. So probably like a 35 foot, like an Olympic freaking
swimming pool.
Well, yeah, and it just did like a loop around, but it literally went like they were out of the water and then they were in the water.
Oh yeah, that's got to be at least like 30, 35 feet deep.
Yeah.
Well, I was disappointed at the zoo because we thought we were going to see pandas in DC because they were there last time, but they're back in Asia. So I was like, okay, no worries. Like, it's fine. It is what it is. We'll go to the gorilla house because we don't have gorillas here. I think they only have them at the Dallas Zoo in Texas, which we've been to. So we walk in, and I'm excited because Jed loves monkeys and, like, gorillas and stuff. Like, he's always, like, signing.
I know. I was asking him. I was like, did you see monkeys? And he was like, I was like, y'all didn't see no monkeys? She was like, no, sadly.
Well, they had an orangutan when we first walked in who's been there, I guess, since, like, the 80s. So he's old, and he, like, is used to the people. This motherfucker
doesn't even react.
Doesn't even react. He was over 6 foot. He was walking like upright. And Jed just starts to fucking lose his shit.
Oh, he didn't like it?
He didn't like it, girl.
No.
And then when we got outside, he's like looking at one of them through the glass and he goes, which is the sign for sad.
I was about to say sad.
And I was like, yeah, the zoos can be kind of sad.
Well, yeah, because they're locked. Well, okay, so that's one thing that I did really love. So I had never been to the Denver Zoo. I've been to Denver like 5 times, but never to the zoo. And as I'm walking around, like their enclosures are huge for each of these animals.
That's nice.
Like giant, like 3 times the size as in San Antonio or Austin. So
the Austin Zoo is sad.
It is so sad, girl. But they have a billion, like so much more space. And I was like, see, this is, if they're going to be held captive, this is the kind of space that they need to be able to dedicate to them. Yeah. I was like, so San Antonio, they think that they've done some upgrades. They have not done enough upgrades via what I've seen with my own eyes.
I haven't been to the San Antonio Zoo in years because, one, it's always so fucking hot. Like,
well, my kids, they end up, since we were in New Braunfels, they end up going on their like field trips.
Yeah,
both of them. Yeah. So I went last year for their field trips.
Yeah, it's hot and it's just like, like it's very
There's no shade
tight.
anywhere.
There's no shade. It's very tight. Like
you're always uphill, downhill with your strollers and stuff or wagons. Yeah, it's just not people friendly as much.
Yeah. But I haven't been there in a while, but I will say like the zoo in DC is really fun, and it was easy. You just got online, like that one, the Air and Space, the African American History Museum.
You just block the time, right?
You just block a time. The other ones you can still walk right in. I guess it's just those, and that's changed since I've been 10 years ago, because last time I went, I was pregnant.
Probably since COVID, girl. Like, because they just want to make sure there's not going to be too many people at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that the zoos have been doing that since COVID. Like, we can only let
the animals
100
can
people
get
in.
sick too, and
yeah. And that's what they were saying about dogs and shit, too. Did you hear about that? Like, your animals could get it from you? I'm like, hold up. Yeah. My wiener is about to go in a bubble, okay? Talking about my little wiener dog. I'm
know.
Oh, hell no.
I knew immediately you were talking about malls.
Well, to clarify for everybody else who doesn't know that I have a wiener dog, I was just like, ooh.
I know.
But then, we went to Red Rocks, which is where I had seen a concert, and it's literally, you go up into the mountain, like you go up the side of it, and then when you're at the top of it, they cut a huge hole in the middle, so that way there can be like performances and stuff. So when somebody's down there singing at the very bottom,
cool.
Because then you got to walk all the way down. So like me and Briston had went and seen Dermot Kennedy there in the front row. So like we had to go hike up the mountain, go back down.
Oh hell no!
To our seats or whatever. But I've been to probably at least 150 concerts. I'm not lying. I go at least once a month. But one of the most amazing sounds I've ever heard in my life.
I bet
Just because the echoing all around it. And I have some videos on my Facebook of when we went and saw him there. If you heard it, it's amazing. They don't even need any help with like stage sound. Yeah, so I was showing the kids because they love him. And I was just like, this is where I saw him. And then we took the tour underneath it that shows like how it was built and yada yada. And Harper saw that her favorite is Ed Sheeran of all time. She thinks that we could drive to his house so that she could say hi and then we could leave. And I'm like, baby, it don't work like that. But she was like, oh my God, he was here on my birthday. And she thought that was like the coolest thing ever. And so it made her whole day. She talked about it for forever. She conned my mom into now taking her to an Ed Sheeran concert. She said, Nana can't forget, because she pinky promised. I was like, that sounds like Nana money for sure. I know Ed Sheeran got to be expensive.
And you can't even tell the kids things because, like, me and Jonathan will
They'll
joke.
say every day.
They'll remember it
every day until it happens.
Yeah, they're like we're in DC, and we like talked about at one point, maybe we'll just take them to like Kalahari or something. And we're in DC, and they're like, well, we haven't gone to Kalahari. I'm like, we're literally in a different state.
Literally, we're not even back in Texas anymore. Like, we were in Virginia.
Like, we got on a plane, we came here to see all the cool shit. No, it's almost like for me, it's funny because it's like I'm healing a part of myself, and I like joke, and I'm like, these kids don't even know how good I have it. But at the same time, like, I'm glad these kids don't even know. Like, you know what I mean?
They don't know the struggle.
They don't know. They'll never know the struggle. Like, they know that, like, they're just so secure, and they're like, oh, like, you know, of course, like,
this is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Whenever we're like...
Yeah.
We used to vacation in Texas.
Yeah. And that was like a vacation.
It was with if you had family nearby.
Oh, hell yeah.
I was like, my parents would take us to the beach every summer.
Right. Y'all have family there.
Well, yeah. And so we would stay at a hotel nearby before any family, eventually moved down there. And I was just like, I mean, we thought that was awesome. Like, getting to go to the beach. We were
that
like,
was upper middle class.
Especially because the hotel that we always stayed at had a pool. So we would go from the beach to the pool and then Mimi's right after. Like, Till the next day, beach pool. That's what we did all the time.
Loved it.
Oh yeah, because it gave my dad the chance to sit there and drink a couple beers or go fishing, and my mom would just like she would just chill or film us with her big old camera back in the day. For real, she'd film us out for everything, pictures for everything.
I want to see
girl.
those.
So there's some of them of me. Where I thought like I could win a booty shaking contest or something. So I'm like,
oh Lord.
I invented twerking by this video. I think I was 5, so that was what 29 years ago.
Oh hell!
Lord. That sounds terrible to say out loud.
I know.
I'm 34.
Oh, I know. I'm gonna be 30 in like what? What's today?
Oh, guys, I'm 34 as of a week ago. I just turned 34.
I don't know what today is, but I'm gonna be 30 on the 11th, and there's a part of me that's excited.
This Sunday.
And there's a part of me that wants to throw up. I'm like, oh my God. It's happening. I'm old. Well, the other day.
But for her birthday, we're going on a cruise.
A cruise.
At the end of this month. So we're going to have to double book. So if you see us in the same outfit for 2 episodes.
Don't mind us.
It's okay.
We're just
because
in preparation.
we still want to be able to deliver every Wednesday, but we're going to be on a beach somewhere that Wednesday. So
right. And drunk. I'm gonna say I'll be kid free.
We're gonna be kidless. There's gonna be 8 of us to watch each other.
Yes, it's gonna be
a
the
great
best
time.
It's gonna. We have a little.
Sad little Brown is missing it.
I know.
And Kelly, I'm like, oh.
We have our little theme. Our room is gonna be
boats and hoes.
And then my
brothers.
My sorority fucking hate this place. It's a prison. That's literally my kids when I tell them no to. We're in DC. They're like, we want boba. I'm like, yeah, I don't need boba. This is the worst fucking day of my life.
I know we're at the
pool in Colorado. Down and like,
I want my iPad. No. I fucking hate it here. I'm like, well, of course they're not cussing, but they're like, I'm like, oh my God, you rotten ass.
Literally going to Chinatown to eat lunch.
It's gonna cost me $80.
And it literally did. Plus tip. It was like $100.
See, that's just expensive when you eat in town.
They're like, well, we didn't get boba. I'm like, do you even have room for boba?
I know, because then Harper was even like, yeah, you know that I drank it whenever I was in Colorado. I was like, we're in Colorado right now. She goes, I know, but we're about to go back to Texas. I was like, they have boba in Texas.
It's not exclusive to Colorado.
Yeah, I was like, they have that there.
She's like, okay, it's not the same.
Sure. She doesn't believe me half the time.
I'm going to have to take, and I told other Brianna, Drew, I was like, we should take the kids to Chinatown for Chinese New Year. That shit's lit. I love it. Right there off Lamar. Chinese New Year's in January. We should take them. They do the dragons. I didn't know what that was. They have all the shit for good luck. All the shops and everything are open. Like,
girl, you just reminded me. I used to do ballet folklorico. And
I'm done with you. Why are you more Mexican than me?
In elementary school? Oh no. So look, we'll ask my mom for the videos, but why she would like film me. So throughout elementary school, I would always like audition and I would always make it every year. Well, one year it's just me and my other white friend Amanda. Everybody else is Hispanic, right? And she was like, I remember the teacher going, that one. And I got to wear the fucking one with the eagle on it, while everybody else had to wear the plain one. You know, what's those like bedazzled things? Not rhinestones. What's the other things? Like you could flip them up and down to make different
sequins.
Sequins, yeah. So it was like this huge sequin, like it was heavy as hell. I just remember, and I would always feel so cool because I'm up front and I'm like this. And they're like, look at this white girl. I'm like, and I'm wearing the eagle.
Meanwhile, my mom was like, and you know,
and your kid won't even eat enchiladas.
No, my kid won't even eat enchiladas. But my mom, and you know what's so funny is my mom like, and I told her the other day, I was like, Cam, you know, I'm glad he's blessed and Jed is blessed to like have these experiences. Because you know what, even though my mom was like a poor single mom, that's what she was, it was never an excuse to her. If she found something free, bitch, we were going. Like the UT basketball girls at the old Frank Irwin Center back in the day. I know they recently tore down the drum.
Sad.
But they would play
I've seen
there.
So many concerts there.
And they would try to get people in the stands. So every once in a while they would like announce like whatever, like, hey, it's free. You just got to bring like your kid's ID or your student ID, you know. And then she worked for the school district, so she got them free. And like we got no snacks. We didn't get even water bottles. Like
bring them in your purse.
But no, she would. But
bring them in your purse.
Right, but she didn't get to say that. But she was like, "You guys are here and you're experiencing something." And I really, truly, like,
cool.
Thank her for that shit. You know, like you say, like your mom's out there, like, no, be in ballet folklorico because she's giving you that cultural experience.
She would come to every time we performed. Anytime I had in middle school, I liked to do soccer. She would come to every practice game that she could make. She was doing PTA. She would come to every field trip. Like, So there was never a cutoff where they were like, oh, sorry, like we just can't. Like if they knew one of us had like a class field trip coming up, like one year I had to go and do a huge choir competition in Colorado. And of course your parents have to pay for that. And I felt bad asking because I'm like, sure, like my parents got 4 kids. Like my mom worked for the state. Like,
yeah.
Ooh.
She's not making buku dollars.
Mom, like I need to go to Colorado. She's like, what? But like, as long as they had like enough heads up, they always made it happen.
Right,
like,
but
Allie got to even go overseas.
Right, I think because our parents set that platform, whether they had a lot or didn't have a lot, or even came from just different like backgrounds. Like my mom, she really is the inspiration why I want the boys to travel so much, given the opportunity, because she couldn't afford for us to go. But my sophomore year of high school, that bitch sent me on a plane to Minnesota. Like straight up to the woods.
For school or like to go
for
visit?
debate.
Oh, see,
women's. This is before the internet, right? Women's Debate Institute. She found like through a fucking magazine catalog.
So why aren't you a lawyer? You did debate. You debate me. You debate your exes. You debate your kids.
I drew my own prenup, which stood up in court. She was
you debate your mama. I'm like, you should just be a lawyer, bitch.
I looked into it, but I'm like, I'll just get my PhD instead. Fuck it.
Oh, like that's
I'll
still
just be
nothing.
a doctor. Like I'll just study some other shit. It was just a lot. I got to give it up to people who go like to law school.
Yeah,
it was really expensive.
It takes a long time. Mm-hmm. Like, and not only that, kudos to people who do that because it takes a lot of your time. It's not like a doctor's office where you're 8 to 5 or you know what I mean.
No. You're working all the time.
And so where your kids or your spouse come in there, you know, you don't have time for any of that stuff most of the time.
But my mom, she found it. She was emailing with the lady who did it. It was a nonprofit. She's like, my daughter's really good at debate, and I can't afford for her to go. They're like, we'll get some scholarships for her. I got the McDougal scholarship. I don't even know who sponsored me. Someone with the last name McDougal sponsored me to go, and I thank him to this day. My mom never met this lady, only emailed with her, never saw a picture of her, and put my ass on a plane. They sent her the ticket to Minnesota, like the north of Minnesota, like right by the Canadian border.
I didn't even know there was a Minnesota.
Yes.
I'm just kidding.
Minnesota. And was like, when you get off the plane, you're going to get off at this gate and you're going to go down by luggage and there will be a lady there holding a sign that says Women's Debate Institute. And you'll go with her and you'll be back in 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
And but you know what? I mean, I didn't get human trafficked. It worked.
But these days, I'd be like, daughter, I'm coming with you. I'm staying the 2 weeks with you. Yes. Like, I could stay in a different hotel or a different room. That's okay.
No.
But I'm going to walk.
And then I went the next year. No, it was my junior year. I went my junior year, then I went my senior year as a junior counselor. So I went 2 years in a row, and each time they paid for me to go. And I'm glad my mom did that with even the no resources she had. She advocated for me because, girl, once I got a taste of that life.
I was about to say, but not only that, you know how much it sucks to have to be like, hey, I need help?
Yeah.
Like, and the fact that she was just like, fuck it, I need help. Like, I'm doing this all on my own. Help me out, please. My daughter deserves to go. Kudos to her.
I think that's why I have no shame. Like, I'll gladly, people stare at me filling up the water bottles while they're trying to get juice. I'm like, fuck off, Shannon. Okay, you want to buy a $10 water bottle? That's on you.
Yeah.
I'm not buying a $10 water bottle.
Well, that's just like whenever I was telling my mom about going to Colorado, I was like, man, I'm already like low on cash. You know, I need to be able to afford all the bills at the house and all the groceries and stuff now that I have the kids full time again. And she's just like, until Christmas time now that they're done visiting Amanda. And she's just like, oh, don't worry about it. Like, she was like, I got me a sugar daddy. I was like, Mom, talking about my dad. I was just like,
your dad's like, I want to fucking retire.
So as long as I know my dad's like, oh, my knees hurt, my back hurt. No, he doesn't care. He likes where he's at. He's in Austria right now, Venice. Yeah. It's beautiful.
Oh my gosh. I mean, he just came back from Hawaii too for a long time.
But she was just like, don't worry about it. Like, so as long as I was GPS, I found like the restaurants or the things to do or like the cheaper hotel that had a pool and had hot breakfast. She was like, nope. And she picked the rental car and then she paid for all of it. I was just like, wow, thank you. So like I paid for our like fun things to do and then she pitched in food. It just ended up making me feel so much better because I was very fucking stressed going into this. Like, but you know, that's the only bad thing about being single for so long is that you're like, damn, I missed that second income.
Right. And like just to kind of
like,
close,
where are you?
Just to kind of close out here, I think like our things to any mom listening who's like, man, I would love to take my kids, something like that. It may not be able to be on that kind of plan right now for you all, but there are other things. Like I just went to a Spurs game. That was free. It was through a nonprofit called We See the Greatness in You. So I interact with a lot of those things. If you want to take your kids somewhere for an experience, I can't guarantee anything, but reach out because I do. I was
going to say we can name a couple places.
Yeah,
if you want to reach out and be like, here in this area, we can see what we can find. We're definitely willing to help. Yeah.
We're willing to look and help and see what's free. And if you know what, it's like, hey,
even if you have to do a day trip to the beach and just worry about gas, bring sandwiches, chips, waters, Gatorade, like bring whatever.
And come
you're not
right
spending
back.
any money, come right back. You spent $20-$30 in gas.
Yeah, and
that's
you'll
it.
be
and you
tired
made so
as
many
shit.
memories. Y'all, I was like, you can take all the pictures, all the videos, and like that's what I'm doing right before the kids go back to school because they're like, dang, Mom, we were gone all summer, so we didn't get to go to the beach. And I'm like, I'm going to the beach right after this. I'm like, dang it, okay. I need to, make sure we get a beach day in. So even just doing that, like
even just for a day, there's times where I'm tired as fuck, but you know what? I see my kids' faces. Like I said, when we were at the splash pad and I was watching Cam and Jed and Jonathan's son just all having the best time of their lives, I was just sitting there like tearing up, like, damn, these kids are just living the high life.
I know.
They have no clue.
I know my kids are all like this in the hotel room. I'm like, dang, y'all act like y'all paid for this. I was like, I mean, well, I didn't either.
Mom,
but
can we charge some snacks to the room? No, the fuck you can't.
I know.
Let's walk to the CVS across the street.
Literally. They're like, where's the can we get concessions? I'm like, no, bro. And then me like, well, I do want a soda.
I don't want a Monster.
I'm like, I'm the worst. And I'll be like, no. And then I'm like, actually, yeah, I'm gonna get something, and so y'all can get something.
Yeah, fuck it.
Like the $20 later, I'm like, damn it.
You get that hotel bill and you're like, $80.
I know. I was like, damn, what did we eat? What did we drink?
Anyways, till next time, ladies. And, we hope, like I said, that you guys
support each other.
Support each other.
Don't be bullies.
Don't be bullies. No one
be
likes
my friend
bully.
instead. I'm pretty cool.
Yeah. And like I said, you're going to be tired. You may have to budget a little bit more that month. But if you can, make the memories. Like Brittany said, they're worth it.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Talk to y'all later.
See you next time.
Bye.